Yes. Russ and the West End Network. Hope you're safe and well. Happy Thursday. Very nice Thursday for Russy B. Leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Sadly, I do know when I'm back. But we are here bringing you Russy Rumour Roundup, the original Rumour rating. For anyone new to the channel, what we try and do is a couple of times a week is a compendium, a digest of like an EastEnders omnibus, really. All the transfer rumours that have happened in the last 24, 48 hours, and bring it back to you and give you our thoughts. Now, I'm not saying we're signing all these players, not at all. In fact, I think we're already up to about 69, almost 70 players we've been linked with already, and we haven't even opened the transfer window for another sort of 10 days, basically. But it's to give you an idea of what we've been linked with, who we've been linked with, so you don't have to do it, basically. Aren't we nice? And there's a bit of a hodgepodge of players who've been linked with. Some names, some under the radar players as well. And we're going to start with this gentleman. And this gentleman we won't get until the 31st of May, I believe. That's the Champions League final, I think. And he'll probably be in that as he plays for Inter Milan. And that's Jan Bizek, the big effing German centre half, 6'5", 24-year-old from Inter Milan. Now, according to reports, West Ham are very keen on the German for the summer transfer window. That's according to journalist Santi Aurora, who has quite a good record when it comes to West Ham. He was the first, I think, to predict to announce the Paqueta and the Kudus transfers, amongst many others, I think, when it comes to West Ham. And he's now reporting that Inter Milan will let Bizek go in the summer for the right price, if West Ham very much interested. They have already identified their replacement in Benoit Badiashile from Chelsea, ironically a player we were linked with when he was at Monaco, meaning that Potter will need his old club to do him a favour in the transfer window to facilitate the deal. He would be a highly unexpected coup at West Ham, given the fact that he's made 44 appearances for Inter Milan this year, including starring in both semi-finals against Barcelona. 24, so he'll come back and can make an immediate impact, and an impact which could last several years at the club, as well as the fact is he's perfectly suited to a back three, having played in a back three for Simeone Inzaghi's side all season. There no doubt will be other clubs into him, without a shadow of doubt. But West Ham, according to Santi, are very much in the mix. But the Russy Rumour rating, the original Rumour rating, gives him Elamar a 50-50. Let's just sort out that webcam. That's better. Let's go on and talk about another centre half. And this one was from Frankfurt. And it is Ariel Amenda. Now, according to ex-WHU employee, he has stated on his podcast that West Ham are keeping a close eye on the towering Swiss centre half ahead of this summer transfer window. Apparently, we are admirers of the 6'5" Eintracht Frankfurt star. He only recently joined the Bundesliga side from Young Boys, where he progressed through the academy there. He joined last summer, having agreed to move following a fantastic campaign in Switzerland, where he made 45 appearances and helped the Young Boys win both the Swiss Super League and the Swiss Cup. He's only 20. He made his senior debut at just 18 and has already featured for the full Switzerland side in the Nations League. However, with Frankfurt only just securing his services, it would take a substantial offer in order for the German club to part with this highly rated centre half. I think he's one of a growing list of young players that we're keeping an eye on. Maybe it's a season too early for him in terms of coming in. You know, not saying he's a great player, but the likelihood is it's going to take a lot of money for Frankfurt to part with him. And it could be one for the next, or for the summer of 2026, or that type of progression I could see. But it's interesting to see we're keeping an eye on him. Another, so I'm only giving 30% of the Russy Rumour rating, the original Rumour rating. Let's talk about another Swiss player, and I think Holly spoke about him as well. Albian Radajali. He is a giant of a left back, a 6'3" left back. And according to X, he's someone we are looking at. He's rising Swiss talent is our man Albion, and he currently plays for the Swiss Super League side Lugano, and is believed to have a release clause in his contract, which is why ding 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 West Ham are quite interested, making him very accessible and actually reasonably cost effective. Particularly when we're looking at a mass summer overhaul in terms of the squad. He's left-footed. He's described as commanding, comfortable on the ball, and so ideal for that sort of left of the back three. And you think potential replacement for the likes of Naviged, obviously Cress, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him turn up at West Ham in the summer. 21, good age. Russy Rumour rating, the original Rumour rating, gives him 60%. That's a good score. So we start talking about the silly ones yet. Let's talk about this guy, Hamid Junior Traore. Now, according to reports, according to my favourite news outlet, Foot Mercato, it has claimed that the on-loan Bournemouth player, he's currently on loan at Auxerre, is gaining a lot of interest, particularly from the likes of Fiorentina, Atalanta, Bologna, and West Ham. And seemingly Bournemouth are aware of this interest and has since put a €20 million price tag on his head for the attacking midfielder ahead of a potential sale this summer. And that would see him recruit what they paid basically for him in 2023. Described as one of the revelations of the Championship, he has 10 goals and 2 assists so far this season. The only thing is, if he's that fucking good, why Bournemouth looking to sell him? So I'll put a question mark over him. I'm not saying he's not a good player, but sometimes, and actually he might not be the right fit under Areola, but I think, to be honest, if he's a good player, he's a good player, and Areola would like those types of players. Attacking midfielder, decent return this year, 10 goals, 2 assists for Auxerre. 25, decent age, maybe, so could come in and make an impact. He's played over 200 times in his career already. Decent 6 foot, physically imposing. Again, ticks a lot of boxes in terms of what we want, but surely that would tick a lot of boxes for what probably Bournemouth want from a midfielder as well, surely. Still, I'm giving him a Lamar. He's got a Lamar. It's a 50-50. What about now? We're 50-50. Let's go into silly season now, shall we? Let's start with this gentleman. Christian Nkunku. Apparently, we're interested in the Chelsea striker. That's according to journalist Anthony Chapman, who has said West Ham are plotting an ambitious summer plot to sign Nkunku from Chelsea. We are reportedly among 4 Premier League clubs interested in the French attacker, who is pushing for a move out of Stamford Bridge, having arrived from RB Leipzig for £52 million. Now, according to the journalist, he says that Potter has identified Christopher as a star target for his looming rebuild at London Stadium. But as I said, faces not only competition from Premier League clubs, but a host of European clubs too. He's 27, which is why less likely for me to believe. Apparently, the likes of Arsenal, Man United, Liverpool, Paris Saint-Germain, and Atletico Madrid are admirers of the Frenchman, who is expected to depart Stamford Bridge. Meanwhile, Chelsea reportedly would prefer him to leave for a club abroad, as Enzo Maresco knows that selling him to a Premier League club could be risky, particularly if he then performs, because you're thinking, well, why the fuck can he do? So it's like it'll question his decisions in terms of his player recruitment. But that's why I don't think it's going to happen. 20% the Russy Rumour rating, the original Rumour rating. Another one, maybe slightly more believable potentially, is the Juventus forward, Dusan Vlahovic. Now, according to Give Me Sport, West Ham and Spurs have been offered the chance to sign the Serbian striker this summer. The article says that after bursting onto the scene with impressive performances for Fiorentina, the Serbian obviously moved to Juventus for a big fee in, I think it was the summer 2022. However, he hasn't been able to flourish this season. He started promisingly, but failed to continue any momentum. Sounds perfect for us and has been on the peripherals in recent months. Speculation surrounding his future has been emerged ahead of the summer window, and his existing deal with Juventus will expire at the end of next year. So Juventus are looking to cash in now rather than for him to leave in summer 2026. So they're open to cashing in on him, and they are apparently ready to accept less than £30 million for him to leave. Oh, quoi? 30 million quid apparently to get Vlahovic. 276 appearances, 108 goals, not including obviously his assists, but a goal in better than 1 in 3. He's 20, great age, 25, physically strong, would fit a Potter system. And for 30 million quid, you see some of the other players who've been linked to for 30 million quid. I mean, if you could get the Dusan who was at Fiorentina, you've got a fucking good player in your hands. But I think I just can't see it happening. As much as I would love it, as much as I'd fantasy book us buying him, ain't going to happen. I can't see it. So I've given it a Russy Rumour rating of 30%. As I said, we're over 60, I think almost 69 players we've been linked with this summer already, and the summer window hasn't even opened. So the only way you can keep on top is by subscribing to the West Ham Network. We bring to you the Transfer Rumours show a couple of times a week, as well as any other breaking rumours that happens in news. We'll have Hammer's headlines. We'll have the Graham Potter press conference ahead of the Ipswich game. And keep an eye on the channel on Sunday. You may see a slightly sunburnt Russy B on the channel, but that's in case, well, if I can get Mrs. Button to let me do it. But anyway, apart from that, take care, everyone. Stay safe, stay warm, stay humble. Don't forget about football prizes and the Mark Noble signed jaw. Don't forget our channel sponsors, Match Bingo, as well, for your bingo cards ahead of the game against Ipswich. I'll have a lovely time. I hope you have a lovely time, and I'll see you soon. Much love. Bye-bye.